The first time my 7-year-old daughter, Lily, said those words to me, I was standing at the kitchen sink, washing the last few dishes from dinner. It had been an ordinary Tuesday. Nothing special, nothing memorable. The kind of day you forget as soon as it ends. The overhead light hummed softly. The dishwasher was open, waiting to be loaded. Outside the window above the sink, the neighborhood was quiet, streetlights glowing faintly through the trees. Somewhere down the block, a dog barked once and then went silent. My hands were covered in soap. Warm water ran over my fingers as I rinsed a plate and placed it carefully into the rack. And then the glass slipped. It wasn't dramatic. It didn't shatter into 1,000 pieces. It simply slid out of my hands, struck the metal sink with a sharp crack, and split cleanly down the side. I froze. Not because of the glass, but because of what my daughter had just said. I saw a woman sleeping in Daddy's car. The words echoed in my head, slow and heavy, like they were sinking into something deeper than my ears. "What did you say, sweetheart?" I asked. I turned around slowly, drying my hands on the dish towel even though they weren't really clean yet. Lily was sitting at the dining table behind me. Her coloring book was open, crayons scattered around her like fallen leaves. She was working carefully, coloring inside the lines the way her teacher had taught her. Her legs swung back and forth under the chair, the same small, rhythmic movement she always made when she was focused. She didn't look up. "I saw a woman sleeping in Daddy's car," she repeated. There was no hesitation in her voice, no uncertainty, just a simple statement of fact. She had blonde hair. I reached forward and turned off the faucet. The sudden silence felt loud. My heart did something strange. It felt like it skipped a beat, then rushed to make up for it. A tightness spread across my chest, slow and unfamiliar, like my body knew something my mind wasn't ready to accept. "When did you see her?" I asked. I kept my tone light, casual, the way you talk when you don't want to scare your child or yourself. "Last night," Lily said, "when Daddy said he was going to get ice cream." I swallowed. I leaned back against the counter, gripping the edge just a little too tightly. "Are you sure, honey?" I asked. "Maybe she was just walking by the car. Maybe she sat down for a minute." Lily finally looked up at me. Her brown eyes were serious, clear, focused in a way that made my stomach twist. "No, Mommy," she said. "She was sleeping." She tilted her head to the side, rested it against her shoulder, and closed her eyes. Like this. Something inside me cracked. Not loudly, not all at once. Just enough. My name is Claire Morgan. I am 33 years old. And until that moment, I believed I had a good life. Not a perfect one. Not a fairy tale. But a solid one. A real one. The kind of life built slowly, carefully, over years of shared routines and compromises. My husband Daniel and I had been together for 9 years, married for 6. We met in our mid-20s when we were both still figuring out who we were supposed to be. We built a life together piece by piece, first an apartment, then a better job, then a house, then a child. We lived in a quiet suburban neighborhood outside Denver. Our house wasn't fancy. Beige siding, white trim, a lawn that needed mowing more often than we actually mowed it. Inside, the floors creaked, the paint was slightly outdated, and the guest room had become a storage space we never quite organized. Daniel worked as a sales manager at an auto dealership. Long hours, commission-based stress, constant pressure to perform. I worked as a medical billing coordinator at a local clinic. Stable, predictable, not exciting, but reliable. We argued. About money. About chores. About parenting styles. About whether we should save more or live a little. Normal arguments. I never suspected infidelity. I trusted him. That night, after Lily went to bed, I sat alone in the living room. The house felt different. Too quiet. Too still. I replayed Lily's words again and again, searching for another explanation. Children misunderstood things. They imagined things. They filled in gaps with stories. But Lily wasn't dramatic. She wasn't a storyteller. She was observant. Literal. honest to a fault. At 9:07 p.m., I heard Daniel's car pull into the driveway. The front door opened. He walked in whistling. Actually whistling. That detail would stay with me forever. "Hey," he said easily, dropping his keys on the counter. He leaned down and kissed the top of my head as he passed me. "You should have come with us earlier. Lily picked the weirdest ice cream flavor." I looked up at him. "What flavor did you get?" The pause was small, but it was there. "Vanilla," he said. "Same as always." "That's funny," I said quietly. From the hallway, Lily's sleepy voice drifted out. "Daddy didn't bring any ice cream home." Daniel laughed. "Too quickly." "We ate it in the car," he said. "It melted." He walked away. And something inside me shifted. I didn't confront him that night, because deep down, I knew something important. If I accused him without proof, he would deny it. He would explain. He would turn it around on me, and I would end up questioning my own sanity. So instead, I decided to wait, to watch, to listen, to collect the truth. I didn't sleep that night. Daniel lay beside me, breathing evenly, one arm thrown lazily across the bed the way it always had been. His presence felt familiar and foreign at the same time, like a room you've lived in for years but suddenly notice has a crack in the wall you never saw before. I stared at the ceiling. Lily's words replayed in my mind over and over. A woman sleeping in Daddy's car. Children didn't lie like that. Not about things they didn't understand. Lily didn't exaggerate. She didn't seek attention. She didn't invent stories. She reported things. That was what scared me the most. At some point near dawn, exhaustion pulled me into a shallow sleep. The next morning unfolded like any other. Daniel kissed Lily on the forehead before leaving for work. He grabbed his travel mug, complained lightly about traffic, and reminded me that he'd probably be late again. "Inventory meeting," he said. "Might run long." I nodded. "Drive safe," I replied. He smiled, the same smile I had trusted for years. The front door closed behind him, and the house felt heavier. After dropping Lily off at school, I sat in my car in the parking lot longer than necessary. My hands rested on the steering wheel, unmoving. Parents came and went around me, doors opened and closed. Children laughed, cried, complained. Life continued. Mine felt paused. I pulled out my phone and stared at the screen for a long moment before tapping Rachel's name. She answered on the second ring. "Hey," she said. "What's up?" I told her everything. Not dramatically, not emotionally, just facts. Lily's words, the ice cream, the unease that wouldn't go away. Rachel was quiet for a moment. "Claire," she finally said, "you don't sound crazy." "I don't feel crazy," I replied. "I feel alert." "Then trust that," she said. "If something's wrong, you'll find it, but don't confront him yet." I wasn't planning to. "Good," she said, "because if he's hiding something, he'll erase it the moment he feels cornered." That evening, I watched Daniel more closely than I ever had before. The way he checked his phone while eating dinner. The way he angled the screen away from me. The way he laughed softly at something I couldn't see. Every small thing felt magnified. When Lily went to brush her teeth, Daniel stood and stretched. "I'm going to take a shower," he said casually. "Okay," I replied. I waited. I listened to his footsteps disappear down the hallway. The bathroom door closed. A moment later, the water turned on. My heart started pounding. I stood up slowly, like I was afraid the house itself might hear me. I walked into the bedroom and stood there for a moment, staring at his phone on the nightstand. It looked harmless. Just a phone. My hand hovered over it. I hated myself in that moment. Hated that I was even considering it. Hated that trust had brought me here. I picked it up. My fingers trembled as I typed Lily's birthday. The screen unlocked. I exhaled sharply. I went straight to his messages. At first, everything looked normal. Group chats, work updates, family threads. Then I saw it. A contact saved as Mike. Work. Something about it felt wrong, too generic, too convenient. I opened the thread. The most recent message made my stomach drop. Can't wait to see you tonight. Below it, Daniel's reply. Same place, same time. I scrolled. Miss you already. I hate waiting. Last night was perfect. My hands started shaking. I scrolled faster. The messages went back months. Months. Photos followed. Not explicit, nothing graphic, but intimate in a way that was worse. A blonde woman sitting across a restaurant table, smiling directly at the camera. The same woman in Daniel's car, seatbelt on, laughing. A selfie of them together, his arm just visible near her shoulder. The woman Lily had described. I felt cold. The shower turned off. Panic surged through me. I took screenshots quickly, my movements frantic but precise. I sent them to my own phone, then deleted the sent images from his device. I placed his phone back exactly where it had been, aligning it with the edge of the table like he always did. I walked out of the bedroom just as Daniel stepped into the hallway, towel around his waist, hair damp. Hey, he said casually. Everything okay? Yeah, I replied, sitting down on the couch. Just tired. He kissed my forehead. I'm going to bed early, he said. Big day tomorrow. I nodded. As soon as the bedroom door closed, I opened my phone. The screenshot stared back at me. The woman's name appeared in one of the images. Emily Parker. I did what anyone would do. I searched. Her social media told the story he never had. She worked at the same dealership. She was younger. Bright smile. Blonde hair. There were photos from company events. Group pictures where Daniel stood just a little too close. One image from months earlier showed his hand resting casually on her lower back. I felt something shift inside me. Not sadness. Focus. 2 nights later, Daniel told me he'd be working late again. Client dinner, he said. I'll be home around 11. Okay, I replied. I kissed him goodbye. Then I called my mother. Can you stay with Lily tonight? I asked. Of course, she said. Is everything all right? Yes, I lied. I just need to run an errand. I followed him. From a distance. He didn't go far. Just a small hotel near the highway. One of those places you barely notice unless you're looking for it. I sat in my car for 20 minutes. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly they hurt. Then I got out. The hallway smelled like disinfectant and stale air. Room 214. I stood there for a full minute. Then I knocked. Footsteps inside. Daniel's voice, cautious. Who is it? Housekeeping, I said, my voice steady. Just need to check the smoke detector. The door opened slightly. His face went pale when he saw me. Behind him, Emily scrambled to pull the sheet up around herself. Don't, I said quietly. My voice didn't shake. Just don't. For a moment, none of us spoke. The air in the hallway felt thick, heavy, like it was pressing against my chest. Daniel stood frozen in the doorway, one hand still gripping the edge of the door, the chain dangling uselessly against the frame. His skin had gone pale, almost gray, his mouth slightly open as if he had forgotten how words worked. Behind him, Emily sat on the bed, clutching the sheet to her chest. Her blonde hair was messy, her eyes wide and frantic. She looked exactly like Lily had described. Exactly. Claire, Daniel finally said, his voice barely above a whisper. This isn't what it looks like. I felt something strange in that moment. Not anger, not shock. Relief. Because the truth was finally standing right in front of me, undeniable and exposed. Don't, I said again, my voice flat and cold. Don't insult me by lying. He stepped forward instinctively, reaching for my arm. I stepped back. Please, he said. Just let me explain. We're done, I said. The words came out easily, like they had already been waiting inside me. You're done, he repeated, stunned. Yes, I said. You're leaving tonight. Emily finally found her voice. "I didn't know," she said quickly. "I swear, I didn't know he was—" "Stop," I said without looking at her. I turned back to Daniel. "I know everything," I said. "I've seen your messages, your pictures, the months of lies, and I know about Lily." His face tightened. "What about Lily?" he asked. "She saw her," I said, "sleeping in your car, while you told her you were getting ice cream." His mouth opened, then closed. "That's not—" "She's 7, I said sharply, "and you made her part of this. You made her lie without even realizing it." Silence fell between us. Emily looked like she might be sick. "Get dressed," I said to Daniel. "Both of you, I'm leaving. You will not come home tonight." "You can't do this," he said, panic creeping into his voice. "That's our house." "It was our marriage," I replied. "You ended that first." I turned and walked away. My legs felt steady even though my hands were shaking. The moment I reached my car, everything collapsed. I sat behind the wheel, locked the doors, and broke. The sobs came hard and fast, tearing out of my chest like something raw and wounded. My forehead rested against the steering wheel as I cried until my throat burned and my chest ached. I called Rachel. "I caught them," I said between breaths. "Where are you?" she asked instantly. "The hotel near the highway." "Stay there," she said. "I'm coming." She arrived 15 minutes later and didn't ask questions. She just opened the passenger door and pulled me into a hug. "You're safe," she said. "You did the right thing." I didn't feel strong. I felt hollow. Daniel didn't come home that night. I changed the locks the next morning. My hands shook as I watched the locksmith work, each turn of the screwdriver making the reality of it more permanent. This was real. This was happening. I spent the day moving through the house in a fog. I gathered documents, bank statements, tax returns, insurance policies, mortgage papers. I photographed everything and sent it to Rachel. That afternoon, I met with a divorce attorney. His office smelled like coffee and old books. He listened carefully as I told him everything, never interrupting. When I finished, he leaned back in his chair. "We're going to protect you," he said. "And your daughter." For the first time since the night before, I felt something close to safety. Daniel showed up that evening. He stood on the porch, knocking hard. "Claire," he called, "open the door." I stood behind it, heart pounding, and kept the chain on. "I just want to talk," he said. "There's nothing left to say," I replied. "You can't lock me out of my own house." "I can," I said. "And I have." He lowered his voice. "I lost everything," he said. "My job's on the line. I have nowhere to go." "That's not my responsibility anymore," I said. "You ruined my life," he snapped. I laughed softly. "No," I said. "You did." I closed the door. That night, Lily slept beside me. She curled into my side, warm and solid and real. "Mommy?" she whispered. "Yes, sweetheart?" "Are you mad at Daddy?" I swallowed. "I'm disappointed," I said. "But none of this is your fault." She nodded sleepily. "I didn't like the lady," she murmured. "She smelled weird." I held her tighter. The next months were brutal. The divorce was ugly. Daniel fought for custody, claimed I was turning Lily against him. But the truth doesn't need coaching. When the judge asked Lily what she wanted, she spoke clearly. "I want to live with Mommy," she said. "Daddy lies." The courtroom went silent. That was the moment everything changed. The courtroom emptied slowly. People gathered their papers, whispered to their lawyers, avoided eye contact with one another. The sound of shuffling chairs and murmured conversations filled the space, but I barely heard any of it. I was watching Lily. She sat beside me on the wooden bench, her feet dangling above the floor, hands folded neatly in her lap like she'd been taught. She looked calm. Too calm for a child who had just told a judge that her father lied to her. Daniel stood across the room, speaking urgently to his attorney. His shoulders were tense, his jaw clenched. He didn't look at Lily. He didn't look at me. The judge's decision echoed in my mind. Primary physical custody awarded to the mother. Supervised visitation every other weekend. I should have felt victorious. Instead, I felt exhausted. The weeks that followed were a blur of paperwork and survival. I learned quickly that divorce wasn't one event. It was hundreds of small, relentless decisions stacked on top of grief. I refinanced the house, closed joint accounts, opened a new one in my name only, changed passwords, updated beneficiaries. Each task felt like peeling away another layer of a life I had once trusted. Money became tight almost immediately. Daniel's child support payments were inconsistent at first. Eventually, the court ordered them to be automatically garnished from his paycheck after he forgot to send them 3 times in a row. I picked up extra shifts at work. Long evenings, early mornings, coffee that tasted more like necessity than the comfort. Lily noticed. She didn't complain. She never asked why we stopped ordering pizza on Fridays or why our summer plans quietly disappeared. She just adjusted, the way children do when they sense the weight of things. The house felt different without Daniel. Not emptier, quieter. I repainted the bedroom, soft gray walls, new sheets. I moved the furniture, changed the layout, reclaimed the space inch by inch. This room was mine now. I started therapy. Then Lily started therapy. We sat in separate rooms down the hall from each other, learning how to untangle feelings that didn't come with instructions. Some nights, Lily woke up crying. "I don't like when Daddy says things and they're not true," she said once, tears streaking her face. "I know," I told her, brushing her hair back. "And you never have to lie for anyone. Not ever." She nodded, trusting me completely. That trust felt heavy, but sacred. Daniel moved on quickly. Too quickly. Lily mentioned a new woman after one of the supervised visits. "She wears loud perfume," Lily said matter-of-factly. "Daddy says she's his friend." I didn't ask questions. It wasn't my life anymore. A year passed. Then another. Slowly, without me realizing it, the sharpness of the pain dulled. I got promoted at work. Not a huge raise, but enough to breathe a little easier. Enough to stop counting every dollar quite so tightly. Lily grew taller, braver, louder. She laughed more. The house filled with life again. 2 years after the divorce, I saw Emily for the first time since the hotel. It happened in the grocery store. I was standing in the produce aisle debating between apples when someone said my name. "Claire?" I turned. Emily looked different. Thinner. Tired. Her hair wasn't as carefully styled as it used to be. Dark circles framed her eyes. "Can we talk?" she asked quietly. I hesitated. "You have 5 minutes," I said. We stepped aside. "I'm sorry," she said. "I knew he was married. I knew he had a child. I didn't care. And now I live with that every day." I felt nothing. "No apology fixes what happened," I said calmly. "But I hear you." She swallowed hard. "I lost my job, my apartment, everything." "Yes," I said. "That happens." She nodded, tears filling her eyes. "I think about Lily," she said, "all the time." I held her gaze. "You should," I replied. Then I walked away. That night, I slept better than I had in years. Not because she apologized, but because I didn't need it. 3 years after the divorce, I met Aaron. It wasn't dramatic. No sparks. No chaos. Just a conversation at a school fundraiser that lasted longer than expected. He was a widower, raising his son alone. Kind in a quiet way. He showed up when he said he would. He answered questions honestly. He didn't hide his phone. "You're boring," I told him once. He laughed. "I'll take that as a compliment." It was. One night, Lily asked me something as I tucked her into bed. "Mommy," she said softly, "are you happy now?" I thought about it. "Yes," I said. "I really am." She smiled. "I like Aaron," she said. "He doesn't lie about ice cream." I laughed and kissed her forehead. Sometimes the thing that destroys you is the thing that saves you. That woman sleeping in my husband's car wasn't my ending. She was my beginning. 5 years after the divorce, Daniel called me. I hadn't heard his voice in over a year. When his name appeared on my phone, I stared at the screen for a long moment before answering. "Hello?" I said. "Claire," he said. His voice sounded different, weaker, older. "I was hoping it was still your number." "It is," I replied. "What do you want?" There was a pause. "I'm sick," he said. I closed my eyes. "What kind of sick?" I asked. "Kidneys," he said. "Chronic failure. I'm on dialysis. Doctors say it's going to be a long road." "I'm sorry," I said, and meant it in the most distant way possible. "I don't want anything from you," he said quickly. I wanted to tell you myself, before Lily heard it somewhere else." "That was the right thing to do," I said. Another pause. "Could I see her?" he asked. "Just once. Not the supervised visits, just a normal afternoon." I exhaled slowly. "I'll talk to her therapist," I said. "And Lily. If she says no, the answer is no." "I understand," he said. For the first time in years, I believed him. Lily was 12 now. She listened quietly as I explained the situation, her face serious, thoughtful in a way that still surprised me sometimes. "Is he dying?" she asked. "No," I said honestly, "but he's very sick." She nodded. "I'll see him," she said after a moment, "but I don't want promises, just the truth." I swallowed hard. "I'll make sure of it," I said. The meeting happened in a small park near the hospital. Aaron offered to come. I told him I needed to do this alone. Daniel looked fragile. He had lost weight. His hands trembled slightly as he held Lily's. They sat on a bench together, talking quietly while I watched from a distance. I couldn't hear their words, but I could see Lily's posture, alert, guarded, strong. After an hour, she stood up and walked toward me. "I'm done," she said simply. Daniel didn't argue. He just nodded. "I love you," he told her. She looked at him carefully. "I hope you get better," she said, "but love means telling the truth." He closed his eyes. "I know," he said. That was the last time she saw him. A year later, Daniel died. Complications from an infection. I told Lily gently, sitting beside her on the couch, my arm around her shoulders. She cried, not because she wanted him back, but because grief doesn't ask permission. We went to the funeral. We stood quietly at the back. Emily was there. She didn't look at me. I didn't need her to. Life moved forward. The way it always does. Aaron proposed on a quiet evening at home. No audience, no drama. "Only if you're sure," I told him. "I've never been more sure of anything," he replied. We married the following spring. A small ceremony, sunlight, laughter, peace. Lily walked beside me holding my hand. Years later, Lily left for college. The house felt quieter again, but not empty. Never empty. One night, she called me from her dorm. "Mom," she said, "my roommate just found out her boyfriend cheated." I smiled sadly. "What did you tell her?" "That pain doesn't mean you failed," Lily said. "It just means you learned the truth." I closed my eyes, emotion catching in my throat. "You learned that young," I said. "I learned it from you," she replied. Sometimes I think back to that hotel hallway, to the door opening, to the moment my life split in two. I thought it was the worst day of my life. I was wrong. It was the day I stopped living a lie, and that made all the difference.